It was Grace Scott who said, quote, "We're going to become caretakers for the robots. That's what the next generation of work is going to be." End of quote. Machines will take the place of our jobs and livelihood as we know it. While we hope that is not true, it is amazing how far the world has come in the development of technology. For this, we must be thankful, as Guyana has joined the race and is doing admirably. Thank you for joining us. I'm Tiffany Rojas, and this is Guyana 411. Technology is taking the world by storm. Here in Guyana, it is no different. The government has already begun taking the necessary steps to ensure that Guyanese are not left behind. Back in 2016, First Lady Sandra Granger and an overseas-based Guyanese, Karen Abrams, anxious to give back to Guyana, introduced STEM.
You might be asking yourself, what exactly is STEM? Well, STEM is a combination of several areas geared at preparing youths for the advancement of technology. Those areas include science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Coordinator of the STEM program, Karen Abrams, said that the idea of having STEM in Guyana came after she saw a video with her children where Caribbean students were involved in an international robotics competition. She said it dawned upon her that Guyana should be involved in similar activities.
They said to me, like, where are the Guyanese kids? Why aren't they there? Because they assume they're just as smart as these other children. And so I said, yeah, they should be there. So when the First Lady came to visit in Georgia, I shared with her, hey, we'd like to do this program. And she said, when we get closer to the summer, contact me. And this was like in February, I believe, of this year. And I didn't want to contact her because I'm like, she's busy and what am I going to say? And she emailed me, she's like, what's the status of your program? So she reached out and she was very supportive and has been, continues to be. And really the program is a credit to her and her vision.
Abrams said that STEM will allow Guyanese to take advantage of advancements in technology and prepare for the future. First Lady Sandra Granger said that the reason she is so passionate about the program is that she believes youths need to be educated with the future in mind.
I believe that the country can only progress if our young people are educated, but they have to be educated in the streams where the jobs will be, and in the science, technology, education, and maths.
The program will prepare students for advancement in technology and prepare them to take advantage of all of the upcoming technological changes in the future. Robotics is the future, and this is no secret. Almost everything in today's society relies on robots. From our personal computers to space exploration, all rely on the help of robots to function effectively, as Karen Abrams highlights.
All over the world, people are using robots to improve their production processes. So they're using robots in manufacturing cars, they're usually using robots even in agriculture today. And if Guyana is to compete with providing services and products for the world, they'll be competing with people who use that kind of technology. So, for example, if in your factory you have 1,000 people and in their factory they have 2 robots doing the same work, they do it for far less, they do it more efficiently, and they do it at a lower cost, and that prices you out of the marketplace.
The First Lady stated that with robotics, there are endless possibilities. She added that this is the way forward, as children easily learn how to use and manipulate them. Mrs. Granger believes that robotics makes the learning process simpler for students.
What is beautiful about robotics and computer code is that the kids don't have to be literate and numerate. All they have to do is use their brain. And the remarkable thing, as I'm sure Karen would have mentioned to you, is how quickly the kids work out and even change the programming so that they can get the robots to do what they want to do. And I am hoping that this will be a kind of spark for them so that they go after that kind of knowledge So they're learning, and at the same time, I would like to hope that the country will benefit from this. And I'm thinking, I was telling Karen, how can we get this to all the far reaches of this country so that children throughout Guyana could be just keeping pace with technology and using their innate abilities, their innate logic to just work out problems, and hopefully that could transfer into other areas of their lives. So that's my excitement about robotics and STEM Guyana.
The next step was getting the program off the ground. For this, coordinator Karen Abrams reached out to a number of private companies to garner support. She noted support was provided fairly quickly to have a workshop for students to become involved in STEM. In the next segment, you will hear how the workshop was executed, along with feedback from the participants.
With the introduction of STEM, a number of youths were afforded the opportunity to become involved and be part of something new and exciting. This was done through STEM camps, which provided a healthy learning environment for the youths.
Under the theme Enhancing Traditional Technologies to Sustain Modern Societies Through STEM, government spearheaded a program to foster young minds in robotics. The program was held during the August vacation last year in several parts of the country. 14-year-old Aftab Rahman, one of the 140 participants who was part of the program carried out at Lusignan, said that he was fascinated about what he learned during his time at the camp.
The program was very different, very new, while fun and interesting. And I really learned a lot from the program, and I hope they return next year or very soon. I learned to build robots, I learned about the robots, I learned to build the robots, and I learned to program the robots.
13-year-old Christian Singh of Lusignan saw endless possibilities of participating in the program and is hopeful of becoming the next Tony Stark, better known as Iron Man.
It's my first time fixing a robot, and it's very good. I'm looking at every step, and we're learning how to fix it up. I could become famous and by buying a robot kit and start making robots and sell to people. Train it, program it, and sell it to people, and become famous of that.
Ashley Shivgobin shared her enjoyment with the program since it is something she really has an interest in.
I love doing this, fixing, building, programming. It's just computerized, and my future job, my career choice is like being inside the field of computerizing, programming. Yeah, and so this could like help me a bit, so at least I'll know something when I'm ready.
Here is what some other participants had to say about the program.
I feel very excited of building these things because it helped me to improve my EDPM more, and I love building this stuff because like it work on my brain more. And I want to say thanks to like the people who come and help us to build it. I want to say thanks to them.
It's very encouraging and nice and inspirational because for me, I like to learn basically a lot of things. I go to my father, he teaches me a lot, and I'm very glad about that. And this is very interesting because I like making these parts and stuff, making weapons with it and stuff, so it's very nice.
STEM facilitator Caleb Christian sees the potential for the children in STEM as they quickly understood the program material.
And the kids really have been super receptive. We've gone to a lot of different communities in a lot of different areas, and in each place the kids were extremely clever, and they really picked up the material really quickly. And right now they're actually building on their own and with very little help from us and the other volunteers. So I think that's amazing. It's really bringing a whole new perspective to kids that wouldn't otherwise have that perspective, because a lot of times people don't get the exposure, and it's really not about who you are or your circumstances, it's about what you were exposed to as a child, and that really leads you to different places where you can go as an adult.
Asha Christian, who is also a facilitator of the program, said she was astonished at what the children accomplished in a short space of time.
It's actually quite amazing. The kids are super receptive to the robotics. They're so excited when they first see it move, and it takes a while to get to the point where we teach them about the sensors and we teach them about the motors and how the robots work and the brain and how they actually move. And then once they actually build the robot and put it together and see it work, their faces light up and they're really interested in it. So I think that's quite amazing. And I like seeing them work through the problems and work through the issues they've had with the robotics. I think it's really awesome to see them like push through it and get through it in the end and make it work.
The program also attracted a number of persons who volunteered their time to helping the children construct robots, including brother and sister David and Kafia Soni.
It's great helping out the kids, giving them a new experience, introducing technology to this generation. I've had experience doing this in Canada with Lego Robotics, and I'm just basically teaching them what I learned from my mentors and my coaches. So it's nice giving them this experience.
Volunteering has been extremely easy, extremely fun, because these kids are extremely responsible and taking a lot of initiative by themselves. So it's just amazing how easily they're catching on to building robots. I was not expecting them to be this incorporated with the ideas, but they're excellent.
That program was just the beginning of something brilliant. In the next segment, you will find out how far Guyana has come in its own field of robotics.
At the rate technology is moving, it is almost hard to keep up with every new development. In Guyana, it is no different. Just over a year ago, Guyana was introduced to robotics. With the right support, hard work, and dedication, Guyana can be on its way towards a technological society where anything can be achieved.
This was the tune of the youths who participated in the first Global Robotics Olympics competition held last month in Washington, D.C. Better known as the Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics STEM, Guyana team shined bright when they represented Guyana. Participating in their very first international competition against 164 other countries, the team defied all odds. Regrettably, they did not win the competition. However, the young team did finish 10th, beating developed countries such as China, the United States, and India. Anthony Frank, Ariana Mahes, Ryan Brenchkop, Christopher Nelson, Saif, and Viveknan Ramnares, alongside team manager Farnas Bashk, coach Ricky Chan, and public relations officer Horace Mosley, were all members of the team who made Guyana proud. The team, with the exception of Ryan Benchcup, arrived home to a warm welcome by First Lady Sandra Granger, Director of Sport Christopher Jones, among other government officials. During the competition, the robot was required to battle against opponents in the competition's simulation exercise called H2O Flow. Viveknan Ramnares, one of the youngest members of the team, explains.
The aim of the competition is to promote global cooperation in one of the 14 engineering issues that the world needs to solve in order for life as we know it to carry on. And one of that is water contamination. And so what the challenge did was make a replication and a representation of this. And so what we had to do was to design a robot that is able to take up this water and contaminant particles, sort, and dispose of them accordingly.
Farnas Bash, team manager, said that part of the team's success came from observing their environment.
One of the main focus was our pull-up mechanism, which was because of the weight of the bot. It was a little too heavy. And then we thought that if a Cooper system in Guyana, those doors are way heavier. So how was the gear mechanism of it behind it to just lift all the weight? So some of the students and Miss Abrams and Ricky, they went and inspected and saw how the gear works and which go where. So we had to, it was between torque and speed. So we needed more torque and less speed. So that's how come we found we use a larger sprocket, and it actually helped us to, in all 6 matches, we got our 20 points because of studying the Cooper system here in Guyana, and our pull-off mechanism worked perfectly.
Saif, who was the man behind the robot, said that he had a fantastic learning experience.
It was also nerve-wracking at some points because myself and Ryan Benchcop was the 2 controllers that was controlling the robot on the field. And going up against some of the world top-ranking countries, we were nervous. But then when we saw how our bot performed, we didn't have words to describe how we felt. And with the experience gained, we learned so much.
Aside from having cold feet, the team encountered a number of issues, not with their robot, but with their alliances who were ill-prepared for the competition.
Some of those country, there wasn't proper communication, and like Ivory Coast, they didn't have a pull-up mechanism. It was just like 2 hours before the match, and then 1.5 hours, then an hour, and we tried to help build a pull-up mechanism for them so they could help contribute to points, and we didn't get to finish it. Unfortunately, when their bot reached on the field, it was shut down. So for 3 matches, all 3 matches on the second day, Guyana was the only one who helped contribute to most of the points. The last one, we were all very emotional. It was like we started the day with number 1 and we dropped to number 10. But at the ending of the day, we knew we tried our best, and we knew our bot. We just looking at our bot design compared to 165 country, we know that we had the most. What's the name of our robot? And what's the meaning of it?
The Great Beast.
And it was the Great Beast.
Horace Mosley, public relations officer for the team, explained how they overcame some of the challenges.
It was kind of strange to show up in the competition and see that, our bot is small, and seeing China and all of these different countries with big bots, and they all just, it was like, wow. And my team was like, we got this. And I was like, I like how y'all thinking. So when we start, and even the first day of the match, when we start and we go out, we see our bot moving really different from every other bot, way faster, way better in performance. It's like wow to us. So our bot, it really, really, really gave us a really good feeling right through the match, all the matches.
Christopher Nelson believes that the team has a responsibility to share their experience with everyone possible. He said that anyone can venture into the field once they put their minds to it.
I would like to thank God for the experience, because I would say that as a team we gain a lot. And I believe that, as the first lady said, we want all the children to be involved. And I believe that now, as we went there to represent Guyana robotics, we also have some amount of responsibility to capture some youths to be involved in robotics. And some Guyanese feel as though that to be involved in robotics is for only high flyers, but it's for everyone. And what we need to continue to do is to motivate the youths to come out or to be involved in STEM so that Guyana in the future could become a better place.
First Lady Sandra Granger said that it is amazing what a little effort, support, and determination can produce.
I think the way our team has performed by coming at number 10 out of 165 countries has shown what can be done when we consider that we have not even had robotics in this country for 1 year. And our young people have come together and worked as a team, demonstrated their skills, and also been very good ambassadors for our country.
Mrs. Granger said moving forward, her main focus will be to ensure that every child across Guyana is involved in robotics.
I've spoken to Karen Abrams, who is still tired but enthusiastic, and we're talking about setting up clubs and leagues so we start competing in communities and clubs so that we start to build and grow our talents in robotics. That it can only be beneficial to us. So when our kids leave high school or university, and we had a very good example of how they used the technical know-how that we had here to program their robot to perform. So I see it as just pushing everything together, and all the pieces of STEM coming together and moving us forward.
Indeed, it is only right that every child becomes involved in this growing sector of the Guyanese society. Fortunately, the government has already begun taking all the right steps. In the next segment, you will get to know how the government is assisting young people to become involved in technology.
Ensuring that everyone is connected to the internet is not just a slogan, but a reality that thousands of persons are experiencing across Guyana through the efforts of the government.
Ensuring that young people acquire the skills to use ICT effectively, confidently, and safely is a key priority for the government. With ICT being a male-dominated field, the government saw it best to ensure that females become involved when they observed Girls in ICT Day. On that day, girls from various secondary schools around the country were informed about the endless possibilities the world of ICT has to offer. Minister of Public Telecommunications Catherine Hughes told the young ladies that there are no boundaries to their future.
There are no limits to your future. With everything moving at such a high speed, you are now being placed in the right position to follow up on what you have already started and what the world has prepared for you. You have already begun to learn about apps and computer software. Yes, you have, in case you don't think so. So what do you think enables you to text back and forth with your friends? And what do you think WhatsApp, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter all are? They're only ICT applications that were designed to improve communications among people. And some of these apps, a lot of these apps today, are developed by females.
The young ladies were all given the opportunity to visit a number of ICT centers and given a first-hand look at what takes place behind closed doors. Some of them visited the Guyana Sugar Corporation's Information Systems Department. 16-year-old Selena Kisoon of North Rumveldt Secondary School is interested in becoming a software engineer.
Since I was small, I love computers, and practically I just taught myself to use a computer, and I've always found a passion in IT. Before the talk from both of them, I always want to be, I already decided on career software engineer, but they just motivate me more to, to move forward more.
Tamara Jones from Brigham Secondary School is only 13-year-old, and she says that she is amazed by what she learned during the tour.
They actually motivate me to see it's not only a man's job. I would like to create more apps for the interest of people to help work easier, I guess. It's amazing actually, because you can see that Guyanese people actually take pride in doing these things instead of bringing in foreigners or the visitors to help do these things, especially when it's thinking about it is sugar estate actually, and it has so much high-tech computers.
The Ministry of Public Telecommunications has also embarked on the establishment of a number of ICT hubs countrywide. This service has been designed to create dynamic, flexible service which delivers increased access to a rich pool of learning resources. It supports collaboration between schools and helps develop skills which equip learners for the future. The initiatives are being implemented to transform the country through ICT. The largest beneficiaries are the residents of Crabwood Creek on the quarantine in Berbice. Here are a number of students who visited the ICT hub regularly to conduct research among other educational activities.
I spoke to the members. They were able to share that in any afternoon they have up to 30 people actually waiting to use the facility. They've explained that they make it a priority that students can come and use it and do their homework. And what's really exciting too is that it is clear when you look at the management team here that they've gone beyond They're doing an excellent job of motivating the community, of giving back. After the kids have done their homework, they actually have been doing some in-house training. So how can I thank them? You know, it's so important for me to be able to say, you're part of this important partnership. We and government are doing one part, and then they are encouraging the citizens and the students and the young people in their community to come and use the hub.
11-year-old Kimberly Punwasi said that she uses the ICT hub to complete important tasks such as homework and also to practice the things she learned in school about the computer.
I do homework sometimes, and sometimes I come and just wait for a seat and watch. Like what I learn at school, so when my exam coming up next year, I will be able to write.
Jason Kendall said that he likes visiting the ICT hub because he loves to draw and play games with his friends. However, aside from drawing and playing games, he uses the hub to teach his little brother Aaron.
Learn how to, you have a spelling thing on here showing how to see letters. Learning letters.
The government has already provided tablets, laptops, computers, and high-speed internet to schools and teachers. Here are the reactions of some of the students who are benefiting from the use of the tablets.
Having the tablets in school, I think is the best thing that could ever happen because it makes work more interesting and down to maths get more interesting for me because we'll be able to use the tablets.
Having the tablet is a great opportunity for us, and children are willing to learn because it makes schoolwork more fun for me.
Having a tablet is very exciting. I can benefit from it in a lot of ways. It will make work easier. That is the function of the tablet, and it can help me with my homework and assignments. And we don't have to write every minute, hurt my fingers. I have the tablets, touch. And I think sharing out the tablets was a very good idea.
The implementation of internet access to schools like those on the coast are currently benefiting. Head of the Management Information System Unit at the Ministry of Education, Yoganand Indar Singh, explained that the first part of this objective has been completed with schools' connection of the 82 secondary schools.
Basically, through the eGov department, they were able to connect our schools using their backbone infrastructure. That is the wireless towers connected into their fiber optic along the coast. So what that allows for is for the secondary schools, currently 82 schools, to have a connection into that network. This connection has been placed in close proximity to the IT lab at the secondary schools. What the Ministry of Education has so far done is to start connecting those labs into that internet access point through eGov. Also, we're connecting in the administrative areas. So in the first phase, students utilizing the IT lab will be able to access internet through the eGov network, as well as the persons within the administrative areas.
Additionally, high schools in St. Ignatius, Sand Creek, Parmakatoy, Waramadang, and one at Anay at Bina Hill are all now connected to ICT. The e-government agency has provided internet delivered via satellite to the classrooms to facilitate students' internet use. To date, government's e-governance program has seen 86 secondary schools, 3 regional education officers, 3 Cyril Potter College of Education branches, 2 University of Guyana campuses, and 6 technical and vocational institutions equipped with reliable high-speed access to educational content in their computer laboratories. The Masakanari community, way down south in Region 9, is also benefiting from high-speed internet access for the first time. Guyana is currently a hive of information and communication technology ICT transformation. When schools reopen in September, a number of other schools will also benefit from opportunities to become technologically advanced.
The government will continue to provide our young people with the relevant and contemporary experiences that will allow them to successfully engage with technology. That's all for Guyana 411 this week. I'm Tiffany Rojas. Thank you for joining us.